Welcome to the Hot Rod Hangout podcast and YouTube channel.
Whoop whoop.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Ashley.
And tonight, the most promised video that we've ever done. You can listen to it on audio function on the podcast, or go over to YouTube and watch the video if you want to see my jalopy. So tonight's updates on the Model A. So if you're new here, this is my 29 Model A. We haven't come up with a new name for it. I guess I'll go over the history of the car real quick. I bought this car almost a year ago now, and we're currently redoing basically everything. Built a new 2x4 chassis. It's got 17-inch kick-up in the rear, 11 in the front. It's going to be bagged front and rear, hidden air ride, no exposed tanks, no exposed bags. It's currently sitting at ride height. The body is squared. The frame is squared. We got the frame or body sitting where the frame's going. We still have to locate the rear end, and we're doing the 4 bars tonight. Trying to get it to roller status for a local car show this weekend. You can check out the details right here. I'll drive the 54 Michelangelo, Ashley's car over there, and she'll tow the Model A on a trailer. Unless we get crazy and Tyler convinces me to make it run and drive somehow. It doesn't have any steering, so that might be a problem, but at some sort of completion, it'll be there this weekend. Still got to put another door on. The back door, it is a 4-door, but the back door is welded, and we flushed the back door. Same on the other, or we're going to do the same on the other side. 4-bar front. We're going to do a 2-bar possible wish link in the rear. It's on 20 by 10 mob steels, 3.5-inch backspace, 4th gen Camaro rear end. In the rear, 20 by 8.5, 3.5-inch backspace on the front. Speedway Chevrolet pattern disc conversion. It's going to have cowl steering. Like I said, we're going to do airbags on the front axle, but they're going to be hidden by the cross member. It's going to be 6.5 inches chopped. Obviously, building a new firewall. I'll have Ashley put some pictures in the video of the motor sitting in it. Mind you, those pictures show the motor about 4 inches or 4 or 5 inches forward and about 4 or 5 inches below. So when it lays out, it will lay doors. So we're going to have to get out of the car, then lay it out, because the doors won't open. So anti-theft device. If you can't figure out how to air it up, can't figure out how to drive it away because you can't get in. Don't know what we're going to do with the roof yet. I contemplated leaving it open. I've contemplated doing like a snap cover, like a tonneau style cover. And I've also contemplated doing like a sliding rag top, because the seating position being so far back is going to limit the visibility of red lights and stuff above the car. It is going to be raked. The body is raked an inch from front to back, just to kind of make it a little slope, but not crazy. It is going to be a straight chop, 6.5 all the way around. If you want to know how much windshield or where that's going to put it, grab a $1 bill. That's how much that's how much windshield's going to be left. The rear suspension, like I said, is going to be a 2-link, possible wishbone, possible panhard Haven't figured out the locator of the rear suspension yet. Also haven't figured out if it's going to be bag on bar or bag on axle. There's currently brackets for bag on axle. Don't know if we're going to be able to use those or not. This was a complete redo. Probably could have saved some money by using what was there. But at the end of the day, this is my car. And when it's done, it's going to be my ideas. I have a really great friend that has now become an advertiser, sponsor, whatever you want to call him on the podcast. Tyler with Why Not Fab has helped me out a tremendous amount. And everyone should have a friend that pushes them to be better or to push your skills. I have called him a couple of times and been like, hey man, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, just do it. We'll figure out how to make it work. So, thank you again.
He's also the one that helped chop this roof off.
Yeah. So if you watch our lives, he's the one that he's the one that suggested we cut the roof off so we didn't have to bend over to cut frame and position frame rails and all that.
And by suggesting, you mean grab?
Yeah, he started cutting it.
Yeah.
So then I cut the other side. Current plan for iteration 1, because anyone that knows anything about hot rods, they're never done. So current plan is bare metal, no windows. It may end up painted, but it's probably never going to be the shiny show car paint job that most people are used to seeing. Speaking of that, a little bit of a rat rod rant. I call stuff rat rods. What I'm meaning when I call something a rat rod is it is the Hot Rod Magazine original coin term of an unfinished, unpainted hot rod. It is now manipulated into saw blades and shitty welds and shitty design just because that's not what we're going for. So I no longer call this car, this isn't going to be a rat rod. It's going to be a hood rat hot rod. Jalopy, hoopty, I don't really care. It's going to be mine. I'm absolutely in love with the way that's turning out. There for a little while, it was in project jail because I didn't really like it. I liked the idea, but stuff was going on that I didn't like. We have ran into some personal stuff and podcast stuff that has slowed the build down a little bit, and that's okay. Because, you know, life does come first. It'd be cool just like open up checkbook and like write and get stuff done, and you just order parts whenever. But, you know, hey, sometimes you got to eat ramen noodles to afford those parts. And anyone that's building a car or converting stuff understands that they don't just give away parts anymore. We just did the steering on my dad's 34 truck a couple weeks back. It had a Vega box. We mounted a single-sided rack and pinion setup. Steers great, but now we're chasing loose issues, so we still got a little bit more work to do on it. Weird. I bought those parts twice. I bought them originally for this car when I was gonna just put it on a Bowling Brothers chassis, and then I sent them back. And then we were down looking at a chassis for the 32 truck that we were building. And the 32 chassis was not as advertised. And I was like, well, we just drove all the way down here. What else do you got? And he's like, oh, I got this single side rack. I was like, oh, yeah, I just sent one of those back. So I called Dad up, asked him. I said, hey, steering on that truck's pretty hard. You want to try to do something with it? He said, yeah. I said, all right, well, I'll buy this part and we'll figure it out. So I bought it, and then Dad bought it from me. Didn't even charge him extra or nothing. Didn't charge him delivery.
Jeez.
But
That was a long drive.
I know. He's had the part for a little while, but anyone that's familiar with Florida is we don't really have a non-show season, so there's stuff going on all the time. So we kind of had to figure out a time frame where if we needed something, we had time to get it. We had some reaction time. He's going to drive it the way it is this weekend, and then after this weekend, we're gonna figure out what's going on with it. I was gonna take parts off of my car or off this car to help and see if that would fix it before we bought Heim joints to replace his ball joints for his crossover steering, for all of his steering rather. But that whole friend that pushes you type thing committed my car as a roller for this weekend's car show.
Yep. This one.
This one right here. So it will be at the Oak Valley RV Park this weekend as a roller. And who knows? The motor might even be in it. It just won't be hooked up because there's no steering. I don't know. We're just going to keep working on it, and whatever is done on Saturday morning will be there, and we look forward to going out there. Again, Ashley will put the information if you're close to Webster, Florida. Come out. I believe it's a free car show. There has been limited information on it, but I'll have her put the flyer up in the video, and we look forward to seeing y'all out there. So that is my 29 Model A. Alrighty. Since I could talk about that car all day, but I run out of stuff to talk about on it right now. This is Ashley's 54 Chevrolet that we call Michelangelo. It is currently a original 235 motor, S10 5-speed, S10 rear end. It's got dropped uprights, still on factory steering. It's 4 inches lower in the rear on blocks. The eventual plan for this car is currently just to maintain it, keep it running. It's serving the purpose of we have a cool to drive to stuff while my Model A is not driving. Model A is cool, it's just not driving.
Yeah.
So we have had to do a little bit of maintenance on it recently, but it definitely doesn't owe us a dime. That car has been to Jacksonville from where we live. It's been to Orlando. It even hopped up on the interstate for a couple exits.
It sure did. Made it out.
And those were long exits, by the way. Those were not like 2-mile exits. But it's original paint. We found a product severely cheaper, but it also doesn't last. Flood Pentrol. And the first time we did it, we used a brush, but you could see where the brush strokes ended. So the last time Ashley did it while I was at work, she used a sponge, and you could make like full car wipes. So it worked out better. The plan for the car is something with fuel injection, an automatic to make it a little easier for Ashley to drive it. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of an 18 to 20 inch wheel, land rocker, Don't know if it's going to be small block or LS or maybe even 4.3 chassis swap. Haven't really started looking into actually concrete ideas on the car because, like I said, all of our money and time has been the Model A and just minor maintenance on Michelangelo. Ashley wants to redo the interior, but she still wants to pay homage with the Mexican blankets. So I believe she still wants to wrap the seats in Mexican blankets.
Yeah.
And basically just going to go over the car. It's never going to be a shiny show car. That's not what we do. Not saying that that's a bad thing. That's just not what we like. Again, back to it's going to be a hood rat hot rod. It's kind of, the way I like to explain it is she cleans up nice, but she might drop an F-bomb at dinner with your parents. It's, the hood rat shit with your hood rat friends. That's what it is. It works. It serves a purpose for us. We love every car. We love everything about the cars. We want to make sure that everyone is represented. So, Dad's truck, a little more clean, shiny paint, causes me stress every time I'm around it working on it. Our stuff is not. But it's all about getting out, enjoying your car. I'm very fortunate that my wife supports the hoodlum shit that I do in the 12:30, 1 o'clock at night.
Out here
Cutting the roof off, and we cut the roof out on live. And if Tyler with Why Not's name sounds familiar, if you go back to our January 1st live, the 53 Brook Meadow that was getting the firewall cut out and the Cummins was getting jammed in it, that is Sam, his wife's car. That was a 4-day Cummins swap. And if you look at videos from the 2025 Hangout, our first anniversary show at Don Garlett's, watch some of those videos. And yes, that's her driving it across the show field, rolling coal with a shoestring hooked to the throttle. It now has a pedal in it, though.
Yep. They've upgraded.
Last night. But to us, this is all about just getting out and enjoying your stuff. It's super cool. And your avenue into this doesn't have to be the same as ours. If you like newer cars, cool. If you like shiny old cars, cool. 30s cars, 50s, 60s, muscle cars, whatever it is, just get out and enjoy it. I'm a car guy. I'll go look at a shiny car. I just know that I won't take care of it the way it deserves to be taken care of. I like to beat my shit and not wash it as much as it should get washed. And
prime example.
It got washed
3 times, 4 times.
I just washed it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rude. You can't tell.
It actually looks really shiny in the camera.
You didn't show them the motor for the Model A.
I didn't.
Well, let's go take them on a tour.
There's our QR code, by the way.
Ta-da! So this is the intake that is going on the motor. If you need a 3-deuce intake, I have one. That's big 97s. There's Holly 94s, fuel rails, all that good stuff. This is the motor that's going in the 29. Gilmore belt drive, aluminum heads. It is still a small block, still a 350 cubic inch. We just took it down, re-ringed it, put new gaskets, put new bearings. It's got a turbo 350, a little bit of converter, hall gas cam, so it'll do the wop wop when I want to. And then we got Tri-5 Chevy fender well exit headers. Once those get on, I'll give a better review on if I like them or not. They're cheap. They say they're stainless. I'll let you know. I'm not completely sold on that they are, but it is what it is.
We'll wipe them down before we fire it.
Yeah, we're going to wipe them down. And they don't ever really have... like I said, our cars get used. Our cars get driven. We're not out trying to win, best paint or shiniest car there. Alright guys, that's going to end this video off. I just wanted to hop on at the end, say thank y'all again for all the support. Make sure you go to hotrodhangout.com. You can get some merch, cool hats. None of the old school shirts are still on there, but the new logo shirts are, tank tops. We don't have stickers or koozies, but if you order something, we'll throw a koozie or a sticker in or something in. Make sure you go show Why Not Fab shop on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok some love. Make sure you go check out Throttle Addict using the code word HOTROD for 15% off. Make sure you go show Johnny Jalopy some love. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you go show Wrenchins for Future some love. They're getting kids back into cars, back into the workshops. Trying to keep this stuff alive, which resonates with us because that's kind of what the podcast is about, is just trying to get everybody together. Go show Kelly Bromigan with Bromigan Media. Low income clothing, low income photos, every other. He's starting to get like a bunch.
Yeah, he's got all the pages.
Make sure you go show them some love. Make sure you go show Ty Blend some love on Booksy at Ty Blends 1. Till next time, guys. Either get out and drive your shit or get out and work on your shit so you can go drive it. Later, guys.
See ya.